Could you summarize the principles arising out of the Moore decision that must be adhered to in order to assure meaningful access?
Well, firstly, enabling a student with disabilities to achieve meaningful access to the same educational opportunities provided to all students is what equality of opportunity is all about. And that is at the very core of the Moore decision. And secondly, what is often a stereotypical presumption that what is appropriate for one group of students with particular disabilities is good for another group of disabilities is absolutely wrong. That's not what the Moore case is all about. Indeed, service providers must have made, as the court said in another case, in the Via Rail case, every possible accommodation short of undue hardship in order to achieve equal opportunity of access. The Supreme Court of Canada decision in Moore does not support one placement, such as total inclusion, as meeting the best interests of all special needs children. In fact, its finding is absolutely the opposite. And thirdly, special needs students are entitled to the most enabling environment, one that must be based on correctly identified needs, that is implemented by appropriately trained persons in a timely fashion, and is carried out in an environment best suited for the student's needs. This in turn indeed requires the school divisions providing a range of placements, each being particularly suited to meet that individual identified needs. And the court found that the separate facility that had been providing the intensive remediation that Jeffrey required was denied him and not replaced with an equally suitable placement. Okay, next one.
What was the overall impact of the emphasis placed by the Supreme Court of Canada on meaningful access, which you speak about so frequently?
The Supreme Court of Canada decision in Moore is the latest and most important of a series of decisions by the Supreme Court and other courts in Canada that makes it clear that the best interest of all students with special needs, including those with learning disabilities, are met when they are provided what the court has made clear is an equal opportunity to benefit from educational service provided by the school system by all students. And that can only be assured, as the court found in Moore, by meaningful access and in the most appropriate environment. Okay, next question.
What do you think will happen following Moore?
I agree with what the Council of Canadians with Disabilities, who were interveners at the Supreme Court level, stated about the Moore decision. It commented that it took the Moores 15 years from the time that they'd made the initial complaint to get a positive decision from the Supreme Court of Canada. And special needs students and their children should not now have to repeat that battle. By its virtue of its decision in Moore, the Supreme Court has made it very clear that meaningful access in an appropriate environment, including a range of placements, is a legally enforceable human right. It's not an option. But to make this become real for all students and for all parents and for the whole school system, there must be real collaboration between parents and their children and governments and school divisions, and indeed including other professional providers. This must occur so as to assure meaningful access. Otherwise, conflict will inevitably occur, and confrontation rather than constructive work together is not what we want.